Tuesday for way more. We'll see you
Let's go
later.
get some tortillas.
Yes.
Well, the best part about it is that they're just going about handling their business. I was listening to Arvell Reese and his literally like 5-word sentences about himself and some of the things that Caleb has been talking about. The dudes are just so locked in here about just doing their job and not worrying about all of the other things and awards. They know all those happen when you go win and you win decisively.
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Baker Mayfield is the most important player on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are in first place right now, looking dead in the eye of home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They played a bad division. They're going to win a lot of games, and they're the best fourth quarter team, or at least a 2-minute warning team in all football. So, don't sleep on that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Awesome and monumentous win against Oregon. Texas has saved their season. Texas has given themselves life to potentially crash the college football playoff party. For OU, a loss to Texas shouldn't be the end of your season. And yet with that remaining schedule, it feels like it could be. Books certainly pricing it that way. A lot of movement off of the Red River rivalry.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Paige or Caitlin? Who do you take and why?
I think for the WNBA, in a sense where they're moving toward more guards when it's been very post and big heavy in the past. But there's a reason why Caitlin Clark set all those records at college and then went into the WNBA and set all those records immediately. I really do think she's just a different level talent.
Betting above the rim, only on...
Game time decisions live on SportsGrid. It's a Thursday night. Kevin Walsh with you live from the decisions desk. And we already have spots where decisions are starting to be made, factor in. What are we talking about here on a busy Thursday night? We're talking about the Dodgers and the Brewers. Game number 3 of the NLCS is live. Yurfie, if you played it, you can thank Ohtani and Betts for delivering that. Shohei Ohtani leadoff triple, Mookie Betts with a double. He really a legged it out double. Will score Ohtani there and set this up 1-0. Jacob Misiorowski came into this game. The opener was Aaron Ashby. He only was able to record 1 out. Misiorowski came in, 2 outs, 2 Ks, looked awesome. Only 9 pitches. I mean, he was working pretty quickly, pretty efficiently there in that opening inning. Live numbers right now are on the move for this game. Dodgers shoot up to -340. Brewers, with the bats in their hands, are catching a 1.5 at +116. That's not terrible. Plus price covering at the dish. It's not terrible. It makes me wonder, though, if the Brewers aren't going to score in this half inning, are you going to see a 2.5 with the Dodgers getting the bats? I think that's a tempting watch. Now, I am playing, or I had mentioned this already, on Twitter, Glass now under outs recorded, 15.5. So he can go 5, can't go more than that. I think the first inning's a fine start, 19 pitches. Glass now, in his other start this postseason, went 6 strong against the Phillies, but only 83 pitches. Here's the other interesting thing for the Dodgers as they enter the third game of this series. Through 2 games, they've used 4 pitchers. That's it. To some degree, the Dodgers will want to get their guys involved. They're not going to want to overextend them for no reason, but I don't think this is a spot where they're hoping Glass now gives them 6. I think they're plenty happy with 5 from Glass now in this start. If you play outs recorded, you will know the value and the gap between a 14.5 and a 15.5 is massive. that is going to be one to track. Another to track, just something we talked about on the show yesterday, was the NLCS MVP market. For Ohtani, the opening inning is a great start. Dodgers favored to win the game. Ohtani with a triple, run scored, a lot of game left. Remember, tomorrow Ohtani gets the baseball in what is, I know it's early, but trending to a chance to close out the series. Ohtani is absolutely live in this NLCS MVP race, and it's something we're going to be tracking here on the show. Now, we were talking outs recorded, and in our second Major League Baseball playoff game tonight, you have what I think is actually one of the weirder games we've seen so far in this postseason. On the Seattle side, maybe it's a little more cut and dry. Luis Castillo gets the baseball. His outs recorded number is 14.5, minus 173 to the over on one book. That's going to vary probably, or definitely from shop to shop. Luis Castillo, the one-time lead man of this Mariners rotation, it kind of nicely falls into a 2B, 3A type of guy. He pitched 4 2/3 of one-hit baseball against the Tigers in his first appearance, and then had to come out of the bullpen in that closeout 15-inning game. He actually ended up getting the win in that one. For Castillo, now here on a Thursday, he's got plenty of rest, right? He should feel calm, but it's actually it's been quite a while, it feels like, since we've seen him start a game. It's been 11 days. So it's hard to know exactly what you're going to get out of Castillo, who, over the course of his 6 innings pitched, has allowed just 1 hit. So I think he's a little tricky in that fashion. But the second pitcher, the opposing pitcher, presents us one of the most fascinating spots of the playoffs. Max Scherzer gets the baseball for Toronto. 41-year-old, future first ballot Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer, who this season for the Blue Jays pitched to an above 5 ERA, only 17 appearances, and has not pitched yet in this postseason. With, via the odds, the season on the line, Scherzer is getting the baseball. And the books, again, just look through the outs recorded lens, are not fully sure what the ask is. We have a 10.5 in one spot and 11.5 in another spot. 12 outs recorded would be 4 innings. Do they want more than 4? Do they want 5? Are they only giving him 3? I think it's really hard to tell. And again, Scherzer's now not pitched in 3 weeks. His last start was the 24th of September. Got hit up pretty good, actually, against Boston. The start before that was against the Royals. He didn't make it out of the first inning. And yet, it's Max Scherzer, right? Like, there's a part of you that's thinking, it's Max Scherzer in a big spot. And you kind of want to trust it. We've got Donnie Rightside joining us here in 5 minutes. We're going to talk, of course, football here in a moment. I can't wait to hear Donnie's breakdown and approach of Max Scherzer tonight specifically, but across the baseball board specifically. Like I said, it's a Thursday, it's football, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we hold the best backs maybe till segment, whatever it might be, 2, 3, 4. But you guys know already I'm on Cincinnati here. And it's a spot to me that is more about Pittsburgh than it is Cincinnati, though I will say this on the Bengals. If you like the Steelers, I think that means you have to believe the Cincinnati Bengals are the worst team in football. Or at least right there with the Tennessee Titans. Maybe you believe that. I think that's the conversation that we have to have tonight. And for Cincinnati, I certainly don't believe that. I don't think the gap between Flacco and Burrow is Super Bowl contender and worst team in football. But I know I've seen Cincinnati through a different lens than most. Because not everybody would think if you put in Burrow, this situation equals Super Bowl contender. So it's a fascinating spot, but the Pittsburgh side is incredibly interesting because a win here They're 5-1. And the rest of the division will have 5 losses. This would be Cincinnati's 5th. Baltimore already has 5, as does Cleveland. Again, Pittsburgh, with a win here, will get their 5th win. The other 3 teams combined would be at 4. So a Steelers divisional price that has moved would continue to move, even if the schedule is going to get a little bit more difficult. This is the biggest game the Steelers have played this season. And a win here tonight, an ugly win, a dominant win, it will not prove that Pittsburgh is a Super Bowl contender, a conference champion contender, but it will put them at around minus 200 to win a division, maybe higher than that. It is a massive spot tonight for Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin on the road. Just quickly, if you're not involved with the baseball or the football, or if you want a big card tonight, where else could you be looking? College football board, a little American action. It's Eastern Carolina and Tulsa. CU laying a big-time number in that spot. I'm not playing it, but a light lean actually to the Pirates and that they just destroyed Tulsa in this game. Loaded NHL slate tonight. If you want. Rangers, they're not at the Garden, means they have a chance to score some goals. The Devils host the Panthers here in Jersey. Avs on the road against the Blue Jackets, laying a number. Oilers in town against the Isles, who are still looking for their first win of the season. Up next, our guy, Donnie Rightside, helps us dial in for postseason action and the NFL on SportsGrid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before 1 on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me. Not
that is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid, I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Live on SportsGrid, Game Time Decisions. It's a Thursday night, which means we've got our guy Donnie Rightside here. Catch him on the early line Monday through Friday mornings on SportsGrid. DRS busy Thursday in the sports world here.
Yeah, it is a busy day. It's great, too, having day baseball. Well, technically, it's day baseball out on the West Coast. And we got some action here for the NFL tonight. And it has a perfect transition over to Football Friday right here on the SportsGrid Network. So love it, man. Good time. Good time tonight.
Let's start actually with the football because, I went a little baseball heavy off the top here, and it's still the NFL, and it's an AFC North battle where the Cincinnati Bengals are catching 5.5 points pretty much anywhere you look now in this spot against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Total's been climbing a little bit. We're seeing 44.5, flat 45, even a 45.5 in the market. What's standing out to you heading into this game?
This game should be easy, and it should be very easy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, granted, it is a road Thursday night game, which is never easy, I should say, for the road team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But let me understand something. Like, the Steelers are in first place. The Cincinnati Bengals have maybe the worst defense in the NFL, and they're down their only decent counterpart at defensive end in Hendrickson. Nobody can cover. Nobody can tackle anybody. And here come the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's flip it over to the other side. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense actually coming in healthy. They can bury quarterbacks. Cincinnati has an awful offensive line and a statue at quarterback. They have 2 Ferraris out there at wide receiver, but I don't know if they're going to get the football. So the reason I bring this up, Kevin, is, well, Donnie, you should just hammer the -5.5 on the Steelers. And then you should just take their team total. Kevin, we've done so many shows together where we talk about Aaron Rodgers' offense and Kansas City offense. They are the kings of, oh, look, they're up 4 with 8 minutes to go with the football on their own 20-yard line. Yep, the Steelers don't score and the Bengals don't get the football back because Aaron Rodgers is the master of going 3 plays, 10.5 yards down the field. That's what I'm afraid of tonight, honestly.
Yeah, this is a spot, Donnie. There's a number of factors there. I think what you laid out, though, is appropriate, right? We know the Tomlin Steelers. When you get spots like this, they let you down. Last year, you remember, we were here on the desk. They're playing backup Jameis Winston in the snow, and he's throwing all over them. And the Browns are lighting them on fire. Right? Like, I will tell people this tonight. Like, it's almost a double best bet. The best bet, right, Donnie, for me, of Cincinnati tonight, you can just run that back to next week when the Steelers host Green Bay, and maybe they catch, DRS 6 points. And, of course, they cover a football game like that because that's who this up-and-down Steelers team has come to be. But there's another angle, Donnie, I would just throw out there, is this is the same number Pittsburgh just laid at home to the Browns. Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals are the worst team in football? Because that's the only way you justify this number, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to try to contemplate because, again, the Steelers are just about picking up victories. There's no style points involved in it. But when you do look at the spread itself, you're asking them to win by a touchdown. They put the spread in no man's land, which is 5.5, because the expectations are for the Steelers. They are supposed to roll. But honestly, when you look at the Steelers offense, I really like Jaylen Warren at running back. I do. Kenny Gainwell, Philadelphia Eagle, he's going to put in yeoman's work. You always take a look at him, 22.5 rushing yards to try to take it to the over. But take away DK Metcalf. I said, well, Donnie, why would you do that here? DK Metcalf is a big play guy. I understand it. But let's just say DK Metcalf isn't having a big game. Let's just say he has 4 catches for 60 yards, which is good. The Steelers are non-explosive across the board, Kevin. Like, we're not talking about a 3-play, 81-yard drive that they could just light you on fire. If DK Metcalf is not going deep, how are they moving the football? Now, you said, Donnie, well, what do you mean? That defense is bad. It is, and the Steelers should move the football. But when I like to bet team totals, Kevin, and I like to bet touchdown props for the quarterback, I like quick strike offenses. Like, okay, they're on their own 30-yard line. Wow, big play. I just don't see that for the Steelers tonight, and I'm going to kick myself because their team total roughly 25.5 points. Aaron Rodgers, serviceable, 1.5 touchdown passes. Let's call it a -130. They should get those numbers. But I feel like I've watched this game way too many times play out and go, what's going on? It's 10-6 at the half, and the Steelers look like they figured out that Cincinnati can't move the football, so they don't need to move the football. And I hope that my handicap is correct where, yes, these guys throw touchdown passes, and yes, we get points, but I'm just not confident on that tonight. Something is holding me back here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ebbs and flows of the National Football League, right? Like we're old enough to remember last Thursday when the Philadelphia Eagles laid 7.5 on the road against the New York Giants and got rolled up in that game. We're going to talk baseball in our next segment, Donnie, so let me just stick there for a second. The Eagles are playing an important game on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings, and as always, it feels like this season, the questions, I guess, are, will they win? But if yes, how will they attack offensively? I know that you go through the process and, there's a lead up to placing a wager. Is anything standing out to you with the Philly offense?
Yes. Now, you understand this, Kevin, the evolution of the week. I'm big on practice reports. Coming into this week without looking at practice reports, I said to myself, Quinyon Mitchell's probably not going to play. You got a key on Justin Jefferson. He is going to eat this team alive. Quinyon Mitchell, full practices this week, is going to play. I'm not saying he's shutting down Justin Jefferson, but it doesn't mean there's an avalanche waiting to happen at wide receiver. Also, let's understand this. Carson Wentz is probably going to get the start. He's not a great quarterback here. Jalen Carter looks like he's going to play, missed last week, and also up the tempo at this point. On offense, they're getting healthy. Landon Dickerson's probably going to play, which at least gives you that dominant guard, and the offensive lineman should get pushed. The one thing the Vikings haven't done well, Kevin, is stop the running game. Well, the Eagles can't run the football. The commitment to the running game will take place here. Why, Kevin? Because you're not going to get an explosive offense from Minnesota. If we're in a one possession all the way through, the Philadelphia Eagles are at their point of the season where it's like, okay, Saquon, it's time to wake up. Here's 20-plus rushes here. We'll live with whatever the results are. 42 yards or 142 yards. The Eagles will not lose this football game because Saquon Barkley did not get 20 touches here. That's the game plan for the Philadelphia Eagles that they're going to try to push through this week.
Yeah, we did our target player props yesterday. I mentioned the Saquon Barkley rush attempts because Saquon just had a 2-week stretch of 18 total carries. Coming off of a mini-bye, about as fresh as Saquon Barkley could possibly be heading into a game like this. And, listen, you can keep your ears to the ground, and people's analysis is, again, largely colored by what they think of Jalen Hurts. I heard someone somewhere say, Philly's going to have to rely on the pass game heading into this one. Minnesota Vikings are one of the best teams against the pass in football. People just want to put it on number one, but the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, will look to put it on the reigning offensive player of the year quite a bit heading into this game. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're tied up in L.A., and we've got a big one in Seattle with Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer getting the baseball. DRS is going to help us break down both games next on SportsGrid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me. Not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Live right here on a Thursday night on SportsGrid. I'm Kevin Walsh. I'm joined by Donnie Rightside. You can catch Donnie Monday through Friday on SportsGrid on the early line. DRS Major League Baseball board is live right now. Dodgers Brewers. What were you looking at heading into this game? Anything changing or confirming those opinions through 2 innings?
No, it was easy for me on the 8, and this brings up a great scenario that we're going to take a look at because joking, like I was on with Craig earlier today, and just saying, like, it's like the Dodgers can throw Tarek Skubal every single game at you, and then the Milwaukee Brewers, who have the best record in baseball, like, we can't even get through one game with a starter. We're going bullpen the rest of the way. It's really an unfair advantage. But having said this, I didn't love the minus 180s, minus 190s, minus 200 price points in the market for the Dodgers. So I said, well, how can we try to get around this? Milwaukee has struggled at the plate. The Dodgers haven't been lighting the plate on fire either. I don't think we're getting 9 runs in this game. Now, granted, we're in the bottom of the second inning, or actually out of the second inning, heading to the third. 1-1, it's a pretty good pace. But, Kevin, half of the handicap here comes in saying, if you're going to have bullpens coming in by the time the shadows hit, and they're there right now, and if you watch some of the clips, it's unbelievable that baseball puts the biggest games in an environment where players aren't used to, like, hey, throw a pitch, we can't see it for an hour and a half. That is so big here. It was easy for me. Paint by numbers, Kevin. Under 8 in this game. The Dodgers will hold Milwaukee down. Hopefully Milwaukee's bullpen is decent, and you walk away with a game that's like 4-2 with a victory. It's crazy what these shadows can actually do to the batters.
Yeah, one thing I did play, Don, and I've been messing around with these a little bit, is guys to score 2+ runs. You know, a little bit. Wow. And so yesterday I played Vladdy, right? Yeah. And the key is, can I get a home run, right? And then. Correct. So I have an Ohtani one, DRS. So the first inning couldn't start better. Yep. I now kind of feel like I'm going to need Shohei probably to go deep here, which, we'll see how the game goes. Sure. Seattle, Toronto. Max Scherzer. Mm-hmm. I mean, because, Donnie, I imagine if you pull up the last 30-day numbers, there are no numbers, or you go back to Scherzer's last 30 days and they're not very good. How do you handle this game?
Number one, as we are oddsmen here, opens up at minus 144, Kevin. Seems about right. I have no idea why some books are showing minus 120 right now. Like, it's almost like we've been teleported back in time. Like, hey, by the way, 2014 Max Scherzer is going to be on the mound. Like, ooh, sign me up. This guy stinks. He stinks. He's going to gut it out. He's a veteran, Kevin. Date it back to August 1st. 50 innings pitched for Max Scherzer. Over a 5 ERA and exactly a 5 xFIP number. That's horrendous. So sometimes they will give him some rest, and he pitched a little bit better down the stretch. Like the Dodgers actually woke up in September, and everybody started pitching better. He didn't pitch better at all. He was going up against tomato cans at the plate and getting rocked. So now we're led to believe he's going to face that Seattle lineup and get through 5 innings in this game. I don't buy it one bit. I looked at this game and said, I do think Seattle wins. Just give me the 7.5. I'm going over because both of these teams should be at least 3-3, as I point out, in one point in this game, and we go over the total. But Max Scherzer only getting plus 105, plus 106 in market. I can't fathom this. This is almost like one of those where they are setting the trap. I don't know why this number is that low because Max Scherzer, he's a Hall of Famer, as I heard you say. He stinks right now.
What's so interesting, though, DRS, and why I asked the question, though, the way I did, is he hasn't pitched in so long. Like, Donnie, if this was a random June, you would just ignore him, right? You're like, hey, he's not pitching 3 weeks. Let's not worry about it. He's fadeable. But, like, that's what, like Donnie, I wrote this down in my notes. I just said, I think this might be the weirdest game of the playoffs so far. I have no action in this game because if Scherzer's good, like, Donnie, is it on the board? This is his last start of his career? I don't think that's off the board.
No, probably will be because that gives Seattle that big lead, and he's not coming in again, and maybe he does retire. But understand this: all the ticket count, like looking at Toronto, and they can come. No, this is Seattle. I can't. This is reverse line. If you are contrarian, you 100% should be on the Toronto Blue Jays. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking that out of the equation because if we get another offensive explosion for Toronto, it doesn't matter what Max Scherzer does. Just give me the over in this game, and I'll be comfortable with that. Tip my cap. Scherzer goes 4 innings, he's up no runs, and they, pull him out of the game with high fives. Like, you know what? That's a man that's been that before and can grind this out. I'm not buying it. He's not a good pitcher.
Just before we let you go, the Louis Castillo piece of it, though, how do you feel about him going into because the Blue Jays, when they've got it, Donnie, my goodness.
Yes, correct. Like yesterday was interesting. Like you set that powder keg yesterday off 2-0 early. Oh, Seattle's going to run over. I love the way they came back. And sometimes momentum is a big thing. Sometimes you just have to see some of those balls leave the yard and get a win under your belt. I expect them to have a good plate appearance. I like both of these lineups tonight. That's why I really like the over. Forget the sides, boys. Let's get some runs tonight.
All right, totals are talking to DRS here in the postseason. Donnie, we appreciate it. It's going to be fun ones to follow.
Yeah, I got to go check on Joe Lisi now. How about that? Is that going to be a tough thing for me tonight? I mean, where is he at tonight? Come on, Kev. Where is he?
Listen, we've learned here on this show, only speak to him on Fridays. Otherwise, he's got 1,400 other things he could be doing. Donnie, we appreciate it. We've got Mike Blewett on a Pittsburgh Steeler Thursday next on Sports Grid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me. Not
That is on you.
all right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
All right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
him the
here.
ISO. He
Give me
wants the
ISO.
camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid, I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, live on SportsGrid, it is game time decisions. Let's put some best bets on the board before we bring in our guy, Mike Blewett. You know where I stand. It's Bengals plus 5.5. Chris in the back is going to go with DK Metcalf for 4 grabs and T. Higgins for 40 yards and a little plus 126 alt parlay situation. Yarnell's been hot on this one for days. Darnell Washington over the 22.5 receiving yards. AJ is on the Blue Jays money line plus 102. It was a little 4-0 situation yesterday. You'd love to see that again. That would be quite a nice spot. Let's make the transition, though, and bring in Mike Blewett, who you can catch on SportsGrid, especially Sundays, 1 o'clock, leading our in-game coverage of these NFL slates. And, Mike, we've got an important one, I think you would agree, between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh tonight.
Yeah, certainly the Steelers coming off another good victory in terms of building a lead in the division, and now on a short week on the road in division. Those types of spots aren't favorable to teams, right? Going on a short week on the road in your division, those are tough games to win, certainly tough games to cover. But the Bengals are without their top defensive player, no Trey Hendrickson, Cam Taylor-Britt, a healthy scratch for the Bengals tonight. On the Steelers side, no Calvin Austin, but a healthy scratch for Cam Taylor-Britt makes you think maybe he's on a trading block of sorts, but Trey Hendrickson being out helps the Steelers. But we know what this is, Kev. They're on the road. It's a short week. It's in the division. They're laying 5.5. This feels like this one comes down to the wire, maybe a 16-13 victory for the Steelers. Lots of field goals. I like the kicking props tonight.
Okay, that's exciting if Mike Blewett's going to lock in on some kicker props. But I think, Mike, so you and I, we've done this dance before with Mike Tomlin teams in recent years. And to me, if they lose this game, that is clear as day signal. Same old team. They'll be about 500. Might be a wild card team. Maybe with the state of the North, they'll win it. But they're not to be taken serious. Now, it might be unfair because I don't know if a win means we have to take them super serious either. But is it harsh to say a loss here for Pittsburgh lets us know that when it's all said and done, we're not watching this team play conference championship weekend?
I think it's too much to put on this one game. I know what you're driving at, though. It would be another indication that, all right, this isn't a team that you have to watch out for right away to be in the conference championship game. But the reality is, if they lost this one and then come back 10 days later and beat the Packers, does it cancel it out? It's just the same problem that we've had with this team for years. They lose weird games, they win good ones, and how strong are they down the stretch? There's some offensive numbers which are concerning. Aaron Rodgers is last in the league among starters in average depth of target. They throw more passes behind the line of scrimmage than any team in the league other than the Broncos. So is this a matter of playing to Aaron Rodgers' strengths and him getting the ball out quickly? Is it more insidious than that as far as the Steelers' offense goes? Their defense is playing much better in the last they played much better the last time out. I know it's against the Browns. It's sort of broken offense, but not just relying on turnovers. If they can get stops, which was a little bit of an issue for the first few weeks of the season, that'll be a good indication of how the defense is building momentum. But I'm with you. I think they need to string some impressive wins together and not just squeak by teams. 23-9 was a decisive victory, but the Browns are terrible. They're the only team in the league that would think it was normal to trade their starting quarterback in their own division. So they are who they are. They have been for 50 years. The Steelers can't use the Browns as a benchmark. Frankly, they can't use this division as a benchmark right now. The Ravens will play better, but the Bengals season is lost and the Browns is too. So the Steelers beating up on these two divisional opponents doesn't really mean much. The only really good team they've played so far is the Seahawks. They lost that. Seahawks kind of won that one going away. And the Patriots game is a good win, but it's a 5-turnover game by the Pats, and they might not do that again all season.
Yeah, I will just say for Pittsburgh, though, Mike, because of the lens that I view them in, again, I'm not saying that if they win this game and they cover this game tonight, I'm going to sit here and show up tomorrow with Steelers futures in hand. But I will argue that they belong then at, as one of the biggest divisional favorites on the board, right? That they should sit around maybe minus 225, minus 250, because these are the kind of games that can pass this team by in a given season, right? In the same breath that I don't like them tonight, I already like them next week against Green Bay, I assume catching a decent number. Now, how this game plays out will impact that number, of course, plus Green Bay's game against Arizona, but that's just kind of the general thought around a team like Pittsburgh. To zero in, Mike, on Rodgers, who is a really fascinating evaluation this season. To give people an idea, and again, none of these numbers are perfect. I just bring them up to try and, add to the conversation, if you will, Mike, right? Aaron Rodgers right now has the 8th best passer rating in the league, and simultaneously, Aaron Rodgers has the 23rd best QBR in the league. You want to go a step further, he's like bottom 6 in Pro Football Focus grade amongst quarterbacks. So it's an interesting year for Rodgers right now. What do you make of what he's given the Steelers so far?
I don't think it's a complete report card yet. I'll say that. Like I mentioned, those numbers at the beginning, those are concerning. They're not pushing the ball downfield, but how much of that is on Arthur Smith? They didn't do that really last year. When they did do it, is with desperation times with Russell Wilson, and that was a mess. The Steelers still have a long way to go offensively in order to be able to figure out week to week what are their strengths. Like Pat Freiermuth is in the background now. They're using Jonnu Smith and Darnell Washington more than him. Can DK Metcalf get consistent touches? What does it look like with Jalen Warren? Did the Steelers make a move for another running back? They drafted Caleb Johnson. He barely plays. So is this a Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell back and forth? Do they add another back to the mix, does this offensive line really start to mature? Broderick Jones had his best game as a professional football player against Myles Garrett and the Browns last week. Can he continue to do that? We'll see. And that would inform you as to whether or not Rodgers is impacted positively, right? If he feels like he has more time to throw. So not a full report card yet. A bunch of concerning stats. I wouldn't pin this game on it. Like the Eagles lost to the Giants on a short week in a road game. And I don't hold them accountable for that game exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
There's some concerns about the Eagles, about the Steelers in different ways, obviously, but I don't want to pin it on the one game because, like you said, maybe they come back and they beat the Packers and the Colts, and you're like, what was that Bengals game all about? Maybe it's just a short week on the road is hard. I feel uncomfortable about laying the 5.5 though, for sure. I think the Steelers can get the win, but it's probably a tight one.
We're going to get into some of the kicker props that Mike likes. We're going to talk a little bit about the Sunday, slate that Mike will be covering as well. But just quickly, Mike, on the Cincinnati side of this, to feel any level of hope, does this need to be a win tonight? Or Jets, Bears on deck, then a bye week or is all hope already lost in Cincinnati?
I don't know how you can have much hope if your best defensive player is playing injured. He's not even playing tonight. All hope for the Bengals was on Joe Burrow's shoulders anyway. And I think if Burrow were in, they'd have more wins. They'd have more wins at the end of the season. This defense stinks, Kev. It's not good enough to really compete. And this was going to be another Joe Burrow 5,000-yard season. He's going to pull them over the finish line, and he's not there to do it. So this team is not a threat to me in any way, even if they win the game tonight.
Yeah, if they win the game, I think the conversation becomes interesting, but it depends on if Burrow can come back. We'll talk to Mike Blewett a little bit more.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. Why did I get involved live? That's on me.
That is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid, I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Live on a Thursday night on SportsGrid. We're out in L.A. right now, the Dodgers and the Brewers, top of the fourth inning. Tyler Glasnow's really, really settled into this baseball game. We're on the under-outs. Going to need a quick hook, probably, to salvage that. Now, it's on the board. Maybe they don't want to let him see the top of the rotation a third time. Again, their bullpen's not pitched in this game, in this series. Blake Trinan has an inning, and I think Sasaki has an inning. If even that much. No, not even that much. I think between Trinan and Sasaki, there's like an inning of work. Like, that's the state of how good the other starters have been. So they might want to get to those guys a little bit of work. Maybe. Remember, they had a little bit of extra rest going into the series. That's what I'm banking on. We'll see how it plays out. We're joined by Mike Blewett here. And, Mike, before we get to the Sunday slate, let people know, because I know you love diving into this market, what did stand out to you props-wise for Cincinnati and Pittsburgh?
Both of these teams really trust these kickers. You and I have played Boswell and McPherson props for quite a while, and you can find these in different markets. But a lot of times a field goal attempt prop will be up there. But right now you have a Chris Boswell 2+ made field goals at -174. So a lot of juice on that front. McPherson 2+ field goals +104. I think Cincinnati will take the opportunities to kick field goals like the Browns did against the Steelers last week. I think you could play both guys, obviously playing heavy juice for Boswell, but I feel really good about it. Kicking points, you start to stretch a little bit there with Boswell. You'll need 3 field goals and an extra point. So I'll stick with the made field goals, 2 each. And if you want to parlay it, you can get to 212, +212.
So let's make the move then, Mike, to this 1 o'clock window where you have a really interesting Kansas City spot because it's the first of the year, right? And if you look across power rankings this week, Mike, a 3-3 team that's right now not in the playoffs if the season ended today sits near the top or at the top of a lot of them, which has now led us to the old KC numbers, double digits. Well, old KC, they don't really cover these numbers. Rashee Rice is back. What's going to be the main thing you're looking for in this game, Mike?
People are going to be excited about Rashee Rice. I don't know how involved he can be in the offense. I think what you saw in the last game was Mahomes' ability to go down the field and score 3 touchdowns. He put up big numbers. I think you want to see more consistency out of this offense. Defensively, I still like the Chiefs. I think everybody should. I think Spagnuolo and this group can really hold teams down, even if they faltered once or twice this year. They're less of a concern for me. Obviously, they haven't been able to run the ball consistently. Pacheco runs hard. Haven't seen enough holes really for him to break free. They're using Rashard Smith and other players as well. It's been a little bit of a mishmash, Kev, in terms of what the offense has been. Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton don't scare people week in, week out. Kelsey is obviously a year older. Rashee Rice is I wouldn't call him the savior because that's Mahomes, but I think you want to see some consistency out of this offense, which we won't learn just tonight or this week. We'll learn it over the course of the next few weeks as Rice starts to get back in there. They're healthy. I think he allows Kelsey to be better as somebody that's really stretching the fields consistently and not just a one-off Tyquan Thornton game. So you may not learn it all this week. You're right, they don't cover much, but man, this Raiders team has been bad. Geno to throw an interception has been a lock nearly every week. And I think you can look for the Chiefs, who are very good in the second half historically. I think they pull away in the second half of this game.
Yeah, I'm someone who's been burned by the Raiders this season, giving them a shot. They caught 7.5 against the Colts. And, they let me know at halftime that didn't have much of a chance. But, man, KC laying an old KC number. Like, good for him, Mike. Happy to see it. Really. It's nice that now we don't have to pretend that Mahomes' prior 2 seasons were acceptable, right? Like, all the people that spent that stretch defending him, there was nothing he could do, are now like, well, Mahomes is back. It's like, oh, is he? I was told he never left. I was told it was totally normal when all of his numbers were bang average, Mike. And now he's actually playing like Mahomes, and what do you know? He's the MVP favorite. It's okay to see. Like, that's the standard we should hold Patrick Mahomes to.
Yeah, he should be held to a higher standard. He is the one that pushed the bar that high. So I'm okay with it. I know what you're driving at. And plus, your guy doesn't get enough credit in Philly, right?
Well,
when he's playing well.
I don't know. He's thrown.
That isn't necessarily now, but when he's playing well.
Well, it's just interesting how things work. In that we have 2 straight games the Eagles have lost. Jalen's thrown for 280 in each of the games. Saquon Barkley has done nothing in each of the games. I was told that Saquon Barkley is the only reason the Eagles are ever good. Eagles are struggling right now. None of it is Saquon's fault. All of it is Jalen Hurts' fault. I just don't know how we go ABC on the line of thinking in these other places. That's, it's a little, throws me off a little bit, Mike.
So just to finish off, I'll take Chiefs second half minus 5.5. And what's most fun about coming on this show is that each week we dissect the Eagles and you identify a different problem with them each week. Because when I was on last week, as the offensive coordinator, this week it's Saquon Barkley. I'm very curious to see what it'll be next week. It'll be fun for me. It's fun for the audience. We get to see each week what the Eagles' problem is that week. Maybe it'll be Landon Dickerson's health next week. Maybe it'll be the defensive backfield. I don't know.
But just to add,
where's Zach Bond? Why isn't he playing at an All-Pro level?
You know what? That did appear in my preseason notes. Though it's like, are we sure Zach Bond can be relied upon to just be, the best linebacker in football? I'll just say this, just to be clear.
Maybe it's the training staff. Why is everybody hurt?
To what Mike is getting at is there are multiple problems with the Eagles. And I will bring them up. But if you, again, listen elsewhere, there's only one problem, and it's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. And I don't jive with that, personally. Mike blew it Sunday, 1 o'clock, where he's already worried about 3 o'clock, Kansas City in the second half. We're talking soccer next on SportsGrid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before 1 on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me, not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give me the ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you right here on SportsGrid. It is Game Time Decisions live on a Thursday night. We bring in our guy, Marcelino Ortiz, to talk about the world of soccer. Marcelino, how are you?
Very good, my friends. Welcome to the Latin Nation Football Club headquarters. We're very excited because this weekend there is so much soccer, football, catenacho, whatever you call it, we have it here. And we want to start with the Liga MX because, my friends, I want to share something that if you're looking for a great second screen experience from where you're watching sports, we now have Liga MX games in English live on Latin Nation. So let's talk about this Tigres versus Necaxa this Saturday at 8 Eastern. We're going to have Tigres, one of the best teams of Liga MX. Now, they're clearly the favorites to win this game, but Necaxa has been improving, and historically, this game tends to be a low-scoring affair. So my predictions is that both teams to score under 2 goals and Tigres to take the result on a 2-1. The fact is Necaxa is trying to get a qualification, and they might upset Tigres. Tigres has been playing really well, although they were upset the last game on a last-minute penalty, and now their qualification is a little bit compromised.
So, Marcelino, let's then shift over to the MLS, where on Saturday you see the finale of the regular season. And you were letting me know how they'll set this up then is basically the one conference runs all their games at the same time, implications head-to-head, and then, 3 hours later, you get rolling. So it's a jam-packed Saturday. And I know one of the games that you're going to keep your eye on is Vancouver and Dallas. Tell us why.
Yes, this is one of the most important games for the standings here. Dallas, not too long ago, 2 months ago, they were in dead last place, and now they have a chance to make it to the playoffs if they win in Vancouver. Now, this sets the stage for great props. Vancouver is on fire, is one of the best teams of the competition. Thomas Mueller is the player to watch. If you're looking for a special prop, Thomas Mueller to score is a safe one. Now, the important ones, both teams to score in the first half, that's an important one that you can make money. That's at plus 400 right now. Jesus Ferreira, remember the name, to score at any time. That will make you some money. And if you are really, really adventurous, you will bet for Dallas to win this game outright because the momentum sometimes might get you these type of results.
So let's also take a look at, we have, let's go to Messi's last game here, I think, Marcelino, yes, where they are going to match up with Nashville. And what is potentially on the line in this spot for Miami?
Messi to score and Messi to assist. What's on the line? Messi's probability to win the Golden Boot. He needs to score. He's currently in first place with 26 goals, and he's being chased by Buanga with 23. He also plays that weekend at the same time, fighting to see who's the top scorer of MLS. Now, Miami needs to win this game. They are doing very well, but Nashville is kind of a hard spot for them. They had faced them in the final before, and the way the standings are right now, this sets the stage for 4 games. Listen to that, 4 games in a row for these two teams because the first round of MLS playoffs are the best of 3 games, 2 games that they win out of 3. So now the odds is Miami is the favorite in this game, obviously because of Messi. The tie is very well priced, but Miami to score is a safe bet for this one.
How about San Diego, Marcelino? I feel like this is maybe a club we've not talked a ton about, but they're right near the top of the West, yes, and they play Portland, a pretty proud club in the MLS, although, a bit of a down season for them.
Yes, Portland, historical team, and San Diego now making history themselves, breaking the record for a expansion team with the most victories in one single season for 22 victories. This is a great team. Chucky Lozano is a great player to watch. For me, I have Evander on Portland as the player to score at any time. This is a very safe bet because Evander plays at a really high level. Portland to win with over 1.5. San Diego plays well. They are kind of in a lump right now, but I don't see they will have what it takes to beat Portland at home. But nonetheless, keep an eye on them for the playoffs because they will do a deep run, my friends.
Fantastic. Marcelino, we really appreciate you getting us set here for a big-time weekend in the MLS.
That's right. Thank you for having me. And for you that is watching, please remember to tune in every Friday here on SportsGrid. We have Latin Nation Football Club. We're going to give you the insight that you need to do safe and winning bets week after week. And we'll tell you of all the live games that we have of Liga MX in English, the only place where you can watch live games of Liga MX. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're right back. More game time decisions after the break.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me, not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
All right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
What a treat for all of you on a Thursday night. We are joined by none other than Dane Martinez on a big-time Thursday night. Dane, how we feeling? Catch him across the SportsGrid Network. Does an excellent job handling all things within the NFL. I know he's going to start to get settled into that NBA when that season gets underway as well. How we feeling, Dane?
We're doing all right. Kev, I got to get your thoughts on if Cooper Flagg's going to actually play point for the Mavericks, but maybe we could do that at another time. What's going on, brother, man? Feeling good?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. We've got some Thursday night football, some live, baseball postseason action here as well. We're going to get a couple of thoughts from you on the weekend Sunday slate as well. Let's start, though, with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, Dane, because this is a spot that I feel pretty confident about. I'm wondering how you're seeing it.
Yeah, give me the points in the Cincinnati Bengals in this one, okay? First of all, division road games are never easy. Road teams on Thursday night football, never easy. I will take you back to just last week, right? When it was Eagles and Giants. Everybody thought that's where the Eagles get right, and it just doesn't go that way. So I like the points 5.5. I'll even throw them in a conservative parlay, get them up to 7.5, get the full touchdown. Basically, the other part of this is I don't know how good the Pittsburgh Steelers are, if you want to know the truth. If you look at their quality of victories, they're against teams that are either bottom feeders in the NFL or we're playing backup quarterbacks, right? Like Carson Wentz was in there. They see Dylan Gabriel, for goodness sakes. Like, I'm not so sure how good they are. I'm not sure if they can go in on a short week on a division matchup and win by more than the spread.
Yeah, this is a spot, Dane, where we agree. I've seen this Pittsburgh team lose this game, but much less cover this game time and time again. It is more a staple of the Tomlin era than it is to me as much a staple of the Tomlin era as they're never under 500. Yeah, but it's also why they haven't been like actually good for a decade, it feels like now in Pittsburgh. I'm curious for you, Dane, let's say Flacco is going to be the quarterback for 7 more games, right? Sure. Whether it's Burrow returns, injury, who knows, right? How do you feel about Cincinnati guys on a week-to-week basis, props-wise? Because there are 3 should-be superstars, right, relative to the fantasy community with Chase, Higgins, and Chase Brown. Where are you at on the trio?
Yeah, I mean, give me all the Jamar Chase as possible. I'm on his over receiving yards today, over 73.5. I mean, the man had something like 12 targets in that game against Green Bay, 11 targets the game before that. The only games he has not gone over this number were games when Browning threw for less than 140 yards total. One thing I do know about Joe Flacco and his 40-some-odd-year-old self is that he is going to pepper his number 1 wide receiver. He is going to give a guy like Jamar Chase a chance to make plays on the ball. Did you see that touchdown on the back shoulder that he had against Green Bay? Yeah. That was Flacco just saying, yo, let my all-world receiver make a play. I think that's what he's going to do. Flacco does not want to get hit. He's going to get the ball out early. I think it is all Chase all the time. That's why my best prop for this game is also the Chase over 73.5 yards, Kev.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is... I don't know what would need to happen, but like you're talking like a deep OPOI sleeper. I think he's, again, probably not because the run that Bijan, JSN, Taylor at the top, these guys are on. But like Jamar Chase right now ranks 5th in receiving yards and is, a touchdown or 2 back of the league lead. And the receptions are top 5 as well. And we know what the level of quarterback play is right now. And some of it is, I thought he was going to save Jake Browning's job at the end of that Lions game. I was none too pleased watching Jamar Chase get open and make, great play after great play. Let's talk a little Sunday, Dane, here. Has anything in this Week 7, Sunday slate of options really started to stand out to you?
Yeah, for me, I really like what Denver is. If you can get them lower than a touchdown, they're at 7 most places. I did see a 6.5 out there. I really like the Denver Broncos against these New York Football Giants. Look at the Jackson Dart starts. Okay, he had that division win on the short week as the home team against Philly, and then kind of all the adrenaline and enthusiasm in that building when they played the Chargers, right, in his opener. Other than that, they lost to the god-awful blunt guts trash Saints, for goodness sakes, right? And I think they are going to see a Denver Broncos defense that is going to get after them. Trust me, I just saw the Denver Broncos sack Justin Fields 9 times across the pond. I don't think Jackson Dart has seen a pass rush like this, and I actually like some of the things that Denver can do on offense. Give me the Denver Broncos, and I will take them covering the number.
Let me ask you about that Jets performance, Dane, because I thought it was one of the more fascinating situations in that they were 0-5, they went to 0-6. What's the difference? They lost by 2 to a good football team. And I'm not sure many fan bases felt worse about their team week over week than the Jets. That's how rough a watch that all in all was against Denver. Where are you at right now on this Jets team, still the only winless group in football?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, Kev, because they are 0-6, right? And like part of me wants to put lipstick on a pig and call it better. But look, you just put up the graphic. Look at how many 1-score games they have been in. I will also tell you this. They have a -7 turnover margin that is the worst in the NFL. And I can pick out a couple of those games where if they don't get the crucial turnover, they are going to win that game. Week 1 against Pittsburgh, there's the Xavier Gibson fumble. There's a fumble on the second half kickoff against Miami. So I think it is bad. I definitely think it is bad. But I never thought we would evaluate this 2025 Jets team on wins and losses. I thought we were going to evaluate it kind of on whatever progress Aaron Glenn can make. Now, it has been hard also. They're going to be without Garrett Wilson for the next couple of games. They've missed Quincy Williams, which is one of the biggest guys on their Jet defense as a linebacker. So, I mean, it is not good, but I still want to see what happens the rest of the way. They do have the second youngest roster in all of football, Kev, and a brand new head coach and a new quarterback. So you do kind of got to give them a little bit of time. I am going to preach just a little bit of patience. And I told you, Kev, Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, went 0-10-1 to start their first season. 2-3 years later, they're legitimate NFC contenders.
Yeah, I think the big thing for the Jets is, are they drafting quarterback? And if yes, then to me, the Aaron Glenn decision then is not, he gets another year. Like, I know I was wrong about this, but when the Giants drafted Dart, I said Dable shouldn't be on the hot seat. You don't let someone draft a quarterback, and then it's like, yeah, I might fire him in 4 weeks. Now, again, I think the Giants might have. Dart's playing well. Daboll's might be fine.
The Titans did.
Well,
the Titans just did that exact thing.
No, exactly. But here's my biggest thing for the Jets. You want to let Aaron Glenn have a chance? Fine. He cannot be fired in the middle of a rookie quarterback's first season. You're just asking for these disasters that keep popping up in this league, Dane.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And when we see it all the time with number one overall picks, right? The environment they go to, it has to be cultivated in the right way. Just think about even Caleb Williams last year, you know what I mean? And kind of that environment. So I'm with you. I'm going to be in the minority, though. I think this Jets team is going to not have the number one overall pick. I think the record will get a little bit better, and we'll see. Maybe they are not taking quarterback right out of the gate. There's still a long way to go in this season, but you may be right, Kev. Let's just talk about it again in a couple of months.
My only thing, I would just say this. I think it's on the board they don't have the number one pick. Dane, it's not on the board that we think Justin Fields is the franchise quarterback, is it? Is that still on the board to you?
No, probably not. Absolutely. You know, it has not looked good. I mean, he is the only starting quarterback in the NFL, though, Kev, without an interception on the season, right? So maybe he's getting a little bit too conservative. I mean, I want to see him go down the field a little bit more. With no Garrett Wilson, watch for rookie out of Georgia, Arian Smith, to maybe get some plays over the top this week.
All right, Dave Martinez, we appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be doing this a little bit more frequently.
Sounds good, Kev.
Man, awesome as always to check in with Dane. Let's get you a live update in LA with the Brewers and the Dodgers. I think we've got bad news for the Tyler Glasnow under outs recorded. Hopefully we can get some good news, though, for the rest of this slate. It's a quick break, and then we are right back with more Game Time decisions on SportsGrid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me, not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid, I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
We welcome you back with an unfortunate loser. Not a bad beat at all. Just unfortunately lost the bet. Glass now under 15.5 outs. He just recorded his 16th. He had 86 pitches through 5. If you would have told me that, I would have probably said, okay, I think we're good to go. Now, what really happened, I think, I've lost the bet for 2 reasons. One of them I should have probably factored in a little bit more. I'll get to that in a second. I lost the bet because every time it looked like the Brewers might have themselves like a legitimate inning, they just could not capitalize, right? They've had a couple of base runners on, and they've just not been able to make real noise at any point in this series, this Milwaukee team. And for Glass now, at 86 pitches, right? He had the 83 through 6 against Philly, where that was probably more about them not wanting him to go 7. Again, I would have thought we would have had a chance to be fine. What I think, the other reason I think I lost the bet, and what I think I could have considered a little bit more going into the wager, is I was talking about how the Dodgers bullpen had not been used. And I think what I overlooked is the fact that that's a huge positive for the Dodgers because they don't like their bullpen. And their fans don't like their bullpen, and they don't trust their bullpen. And that's just awesome for this team. That's not something they're looking to correct. They don't want to go out there and have every game feature 3-4 innings of bullpen work. So for the Dodgers, who tried to build this unstoppable rotation, getting an unstoppable rotation run out, they're thrilled. So Glass now, who's now an out and away from going 18, will finish a tick under 100 pitches. Now I don't think he gets back out there for the 7th. I'd be stunned if that happened. But I think that they're plenty pleased that they didn't have to go to their bullpen. Like realistically, would the Brewers have been happy if Glass now wasn't on the mound to start this inning? Yes. So a miss for me. It is what it is. I am holding out hope that maybe Shohei can get one here. He struck out pretty miserably in his most recent at-bat. It's a low-scoring game. There's 3 hits total right now in this one. For the Brewers, it's just, is there any prayer for their offense to fully wake up in this series, though, when you just consider the state of the Dodgers pitching right now? I still think the most interesting thing in this series is going to be the MVP market. If you get a Milwaukee win here, I think Snell should sit the favorite. I think. But I don't. Again, of course, what happens in between is going to determine things a little bit. But who offensively right now is saying, hey, I'm the MVP of this series? It's just not happening. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman's done nothing really in this game. Again, the best hitter through 2 was probably, as Glass now doesn't actually even make it out of the 6th. Probably just needed to give up 1 base runner. And William Contreras went out there and swung at the first pitch. Is what it is. Is what it is. I'm still fascinated in that market. I will say the ALCS MVP market did see a bit of a shift yesterday. So, Vladdy, there's not as much separation between him and other Blue Jays as I thought there would be. If you look right now, plus 205 on Toronto to win the series, 7-1 Vladdy to win ALCS MVP, a 10-1 Springer number is holding it back. And while I understand Springer contributed before yesterday, and Vladdy did not, I don't really care. Yeah, maybe that's ridiculous. You can tell me it's ridiculous. Springer with a solo shot in game number 1 and a double in game number 2. And then yesterday, another home run, 3 hits, 2 runs scored, an RBI. But Vladdy, I think it's reminiscent of things you see in the NBA. Like if Vladdy has it going, Toronto's got it going. If Vladdy doesn't, it just doesn't matter. 4 for 4 yesterday, 3 runs scored, hit a home run, which led to his RBI. Again, I thought the number would be a little bit shorter, but what you have now is J-Rod entering into that conversation with his 2-run home run, and all of a sudden his number stacking up to Polanco. So you've got now a lot more of an open race, it looks like, within the ALCS MVP market. Tricky game. I said it once, I'll say it again. It's a tricky game. And I think to what we talked about earlier on in the show with Donnie Rightside, the number moving towards Toronto and this total sitting 7.5 all suggest a feeling that the Blue Jays pitching can have themselves a better than expected game. And again, I think there is some merit to that, right? This Mariners offense, it's not like they were the best in baseball. And for Toronto, if you can just string it together, like, let's remember this. A win for Toronto tonight gives them home field advantage back. And while someone would be probably quick to say, who cares, the home team hasn't won yet, if I'm Seattle, I'm not trying to bank on winning 3 games in Toronto, not with how good the Blue Jays have been at home this season. Like, you won 2, that is plenty. Like you do not want to go back there. Again, you can go back there with a 3-2 lead, and I still, if I were the Mariners, not be thrilled over that. So this is a huge game. You guys know that. It's a swing game. It's going to flip who's favored to win this series more likely than not. I guess I lean Toronto. I think I lean under, though. It feels like a sneak under type of thing. I'm not as involved here as I am in Thursday night football. Let's set it up in the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's next. We're live on SportsGrid.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before 1 on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me, not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give
right
me the
here.
ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid, I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Update, alert, blue. Fowler, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, reports the Steelers hope to get Roman Wilson involved on Thursday. The last time I remember seeing something like this with, 10, 20 minutes was the Monday night game, Chiefs-Jags. Multiple deep shots are being drawn up for Travis Hunter. And then he caught like a 50-yard pass. Roman Wilson tonight, 14 and a half receiving yards. Roman Wilson receptions, not a number? Let's take a look. Hold on. We're scanning. We have one book going yards. Let's see what we have for receptions on the youngster out of Michigan. Roman Wilson, 1.5. Is that right? Where is this at? I'm not seeing. This is not widely available right now. Let's take a look if it's in like the alt market. It says our friends over at Hard Rock have some juice there if you'd like. Roman Wilson. So I think if you're going to want to play this Roman Wilson, you're going to need to just play the yards, which I'm not mad at. Alt it up, have a little fun. Is Roman Wilson really going to be that involved? I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but a report like that can't be ignored. Caught a ball for 12 last week. He only has 2 catches on the season. Let's take a look at some Steelers snap counts while we're live here to see what it looked like last week and what more involved means. So he had a 25% snap share last week, relatively speaking. Metcalf was at an 83. Scotty Miller was at a 44. Will Smith with a base knock. Is Calvin Austin still out for tonight's game? He is. So Roman Wilson, let's say he's going to replace the Scotty Miller share. Scotty Miller last week didn't catch a ball. So this is this is not a very appetizing proposition. Washington, Smith, Hayward, Freiermuth. 4 different tight ends caught a football for the Steelers. 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers, the second being Roman Wilson. I don't mind it, but it's not speaking to me. What is Cincinnati plus the 5.5? This is a spot. So there's so many things that we can talk about who the Steelers are and who they aren't. We can talk about Cincinnati, with Flacco maybe having a little bit more live juice. But let's also just get back to the roots of spread math. We talk about this all the time here. I do, at least. This is the number Pittsburgh laid last week at home. Figure it out. Last week at home against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns were coming back from London. The Steelers were off by. Same number on the road against Cincy, short week. You have to think the Bengals are the worst team in football to get to this number on Pittsburgh, in my opinion. I do not think Cincinnati is the worst team in football. I don't think they're the second worst team in football. I, crazy person I guess, think they are better than the Browns. I think this should be 2.5, 3. It's 5.5. Cincy to me, very, very live here on Thursday. Chris is rocking with a Metcalf Higgins special. 4 grabs DK, 40 yards T. Darnell Washington season over the 22.5 for Sam Yarnell. Jays, money line. Oh, a touchdown Thursday. AJ, he's on the Blue Jays for his best bet. Ben Skoranek for his touchdown Thursday. Wild. Darnell Washington, touchdown Thursday. Sam. Predictable. T. Higgins, touchdown Thursday. Chris Koski. Sharp. Chase Brown, touchdown Thursday from me. As usual, pretty boring. In-game live is next.